it's Paul from China Cash Buyers. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're going to talk today about creative ways to get Chinese buyers in areas where there isn't a big Asian community, not a big Chinese community. You know, how do you do it? How do you network? How do you do this thing without having a huge budget? You know, you're not a major company, you're an agent, real estate agent. How do you get something going in a city that doesn't have an Asian community? Where do you start? Every city is different. What I'm going to tell you about Jacksonville. We're near, actually my father worked at NASA in Titusville many years ago, so I came through here many years ago, and brings back good memories. Just a little point, personal point. But this area has something that is really interesting. There is, in the nearby university, there's 3 universities, and there's 4 campuses of one university. Just over the hill on Union Street, there's a university. These universities are well known for Chinese students. So you have the university angle. But today we're going to talk about something different, and that's the Confucius Institute. Inside of universities around the world, Beijing in the last year has made a big push to have, they call it soft power. And what soft power is, it's a way to teach Chinese culture, it's a way to teach Chinese language, it's a way to get interest in China as a country and to increase the power through culture. Much like Hollywood brings American culture overseas, the Confucius Institute's original goal was to bring Chinese versions of various things, and one of them was history. So, just so you know, some people are against the the Confucius Institutes because they feel that the history that it promotes is the Communist Party's version. So I'll give you a warning about that straight up. Some people will not agree with this. So it depends on your viewpoint. The way I look at it is, I'm no big fan of the communist government. But at the same time, there are a lot of good things that come out of any rising state, rising people, and of course, a culture that's 5,000 years old. So one of the good things is like myself, I study Tai Chi. So, you know, when you move slow, you know, Tai Chi. I love these kind of full body things. I love yoga, I love Tai Chi. And one thing they teach at the Confucius Institute, there's over 300 of them. They're embedded in universities around the world. And what you get at a Confucius Institute, and this is not a sales pitch for them, but just to let you know, is basically you can study Tai Chi, you can study different martial arts, you can study Chinese language, Chinese culture, various aspects of Chinese culture, and of course Chinese history. So, how does this affect you as an agent? You're busy, you know, you have a limited marketing budget. Where do you start? What do you do? First thing you want to do is look up in your area and see if there's a Confucius Institute, okay? And I use these kind of things for my own purposes. Okay, the Confucius Institute, what it was set up for and what I use it for are completely different things, right? Much like you might play basketball with volleyball, or, you know, use a park to skateboard or whatever. You have your own purposes for things. For me, like, the Confucius Institute is a fantastic opportunity because regardless of any kind of history, what you have in a Confucius Institute is you have young, intelligent, PhD, all the teachers, most of the teachers, the ones I know are all PhDs. You have PhD level human capital working at these institutes. And they're teaching history, they're teaching Chinese language, and it's well financed by the Chinese government because they believe that culture is the big thing that they want to focus on in the coming years to increase China's power in the world. And so one of them is letting people know about Chinese culture. People understand more about China. They understand Chinese language. They understand Chinese martial arts. They understand Chinese food and Chinese thinking. And they think that that will also help China to rise to a great power, which makes sense. So in these institutes, you have teachers sent from China. The Confucius Institutes are very well financed as opposed to most universities. They've got a lot of cash. They're well financed to do everything they need to do. So you have an opportunity, for example, to take, I don't know the exact prices right now, but I know one of my students took a class for $50 and he was learning Chinese language. It was a 6-month course or something. It was like $50. Either way, it's very cheap because it's subsidized. So what we did is we set him up in the class. He studied Chinese language. Actually, he had a great time. And he's a real estate agent, so, you know, he wasn't doing it full time. But he studied, it was in North Carolina actually. And through that, he met like a ton of teachers The teachers, like I said, are PhDs. So you have PhD teachers, young. What kind of person would you guess is working there? Somebody very international, interested in moving overseas, interested in buying a house. So of course he made friends with his teacher. The teacher purchased a house through him. And also, these institutes serve as kind of agoras, or the interconnecting network of the community. So people, they'll know a lot of Chinese people, they'll know a lot of Chinese businesses, they'll get a lot of information, who's moving in, who's moving out, and they also rotate the teachers at these institutes. So they'll be in for 6 months or a year, and then they'll go back to China. Now, what they want to do often is, once they get a taste of another country, like myself, they want to live there. So they want to buy a house and they want to settle down. So as an agent, what you should do, what I highly recommend, is getting in touch with your local Confucius Institute. Taking a course, take a simple course. Take a cheap course, very simple course, $50, whatever. Then, after the course, you want to network as much as you can. Network with the teachers, network with the administration, network with their friends, have dinners. And I can't guarantee this is going to happen to you, but what happened to my student is that he made friends with his teacher, and the Beijing government paid for his group to fly to China for free, and they also paid for, he paid for his flight, and he didn't pay for anything else. They paid for his hotels, they took him out to dinner, he met tons of people in China, of course other potential buyers, he made a fantastic network. It was a raging success. I can't promise it's going to happen with everybody. Maybe he was good at networking, so look at yourself. Am I good at networking? Am I a people person? Is this why I'm in the business? If that's why you are in the business, and you are a people person, what an opportunity. You didn't even know, but in your area there's a bunch of young, intelligent, educated Chinese who want to be international, want to purchase a property, they want to immigrate to your area, and obviously these type of people are a real asset to any community. Right? They're educated, they're open-minded. These are the kind of people every city wants, every state wants. So, make your network. We talked about business network, we talked about business things when I was in Houston, I believe, and now we're talking about cultural ways you can network. And I tell you, go ahead, contact the Confucius Institute, tell me what you had in the comments below, or send me an email, paul@chinacashbuyers.com, and let's get this thing rocking. Teach what you did and what worked and what didn't work, and let's get this together. Let's make a huge network in your area, no advertising costs, people that are ready to move overseas, they have the money, they have a job, they're well paid, right? The whole thing is well subsidized, and also it's a like I said, it's an agora. It's where the Chinese community will tend to gather. You'll tend to get all the information about the new families, the new companies opening up, the factories when they're investing in factories out here. A lot of Chinese companies consider Florida, North Carolina to be great investments because they think the workers are educated and they want to open up factories in these areas. So you're seeing Chinese factories dot in this area. So obviously in the Confucius Institute, backed by the Chinese government, going to have a lot of information for you. So thank you very much for watching. Go to chinacashbuyers.com to get your free mini course, which gives you 3 videos, which I think you'll really like. And go to chinacashbuyers.com, put in your email, and you'll get a series of emails. Learn and study these videos, and let's get on this road together. Thank you very much for watching. Paul from Jacksonville, Florida, signing off. Tonight we're going to Savannah, so we're going to find out what's the situation and the best way to network and sell properties to Chinese investors in Savannah, Georgia is next. Thank you very much for watching.